Alright, so just a quick go through of what I've got here. These are my raspberries. They were tiny at the season, so they're starting to put on their fall crop here. I got a lot. This was one tiny plant at one time. It is now immersed into about 3 or 4. There's been 4 across, all the same, all the way up to about here. And as you can see, they're growing pretty good. And then you get a couple extra runners. They pop up out of nowhere, random spots. You can cut them out, put them somewhere else, and they'll grow more raspberries for you. And this is my Latham, who decided to grow outward like that, but that's my own fault because I didn't trellis them yet. So this is my raspberry section, and it's been raining so long. I'm sorry it's not clean. I'll have a better video in a couple of days when landscaping does come to do the thing. It's been raining for so long. So let's check out the other stuff. In here we got our Beauregard sweet potatoes. They're doing their thing. I've put my hand in there a couple times and reached down before I add some more soil, and I've got some big sweet potatoes in here, so looking forward to those very shortly. They're in a couple 5-gallon bags. Probably next time I'll go a 10-gallon bag, but you live and learn. The yucca palm I've had for about 8 years. Probably super root bound, but I keep using it because it keeps giving me baby yuccas, and then I keep transplanting, propagating. I got a whole bunch more on the other side I'll show you as well, but I feel like if I get this into the ground at some point, it'll grow taller. But I also want to see if I can propagate and root each of these stalks, let them be on their own, and keep the big stump just for giving off new growth, because he definitely likes to. He's starting to do it. I got a bunch of these to propagate these as well. So in this container I had the lemon balm, the small citronella plant, and some lavender behind it. I was hoping to get rid of some mosquitoes and whatnot, but it doesn't really work as well as it should, but it smells nice. But over here I've taken cuttings. So these are also propagated from that, but were as tiny as this about 3 weeks ago, so they grew into this. So I've got a bunch of propagated citronellas. Over here I have my collection of everything. So I've got some sweet potatoes from the Beauregards rooting, got more tomatoes. I keep propagating tomatoes. They're super easy. It is raining right now, hold on. And we're back, I've got an umbrella. So yeah, as I was saying, so I've got a bunch of tomatoes, super easy. Cut off some runners from each of these. I have some husky tomatoes, a couple others that are over there, I have a Mr. Stripey, and then more tomatoes over there that are propagating. The other yuccas, some strawberries, and then of course I have all of my figs, my fig trees, more figs and planters, so many varieties, a bunch of Mediterranean ones, so many new ones that I've got over here that were cuttings that rooted and like crazy. I have a couple bell peppers, some zucchinis, and then I've been propagating those as well. And then we're over here, we have all of our strawberries that are in the containers. So the ones that are in 3-gallon containers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them over there. And then I got some propagated ones there, here, and like I said, back there. So there's a ton of strawberries. I just got to give them into the ground sooner than later. They've been giving me pretty good amounts of strawberries. Started not doing much the last 2 weeks because of all this rain and lack of sun here in New Jersey, but it'll do its thing. And these poor fig trees are getting more water than they really need to. I might bring some of them in until sunlight decides to arrive. But yeah, so these are my strawberries. Get them into the ground. I have the planter ready to go for them. More figs, and then on there I am propagating certain down there. And over here, propagating a couple more of these trees from cuttings. This way I have 2 of each. The goal is for next fall, well, no, for the spring after this fall, to put these bigger ones into the ground, give them another season of overwintering, get them into the ground. Here are 3 more of my Chandler blueberries that haven't made themselves a home in the ground yet. I have a Loganberry He's got to find his way into a ground soon too. Some grapes. There's more on the other side. And then over here is the blueberry bush section. So we've got our sweetheart, well, the two sweethearts up front, the Rika, pink lemonade, and they're all newish. The Patriot, tiny little guy, he was here for about 2 years, got run over almost every year by the landscapers until we finally moved him. So he'll have to do a little bit more growing. And then over here is another Chandler. There's a Chippewa, a Rika, and I believe that's another Chandler. I have a bunch of the Chandler. And in between the growth, me and my little daughter experimented with potatoes before I did this whole little area, and lo and behold, we have surprise potatoes under here. So that's fun. And then over here, not yet done, so I gotta finish up this area a little bit and clean it up. I have 1, 2, 3 young, new growing Arapaho blackberries, and then over here, still didn't get to finish it. I have all my wood chips, I have all my stuff that I've got to put down to get rid of the grass in between, but this weather's been terrible, so I've got 1, 2 Natchuses over here. I forgot which one this one was. This one's a triple crown, and then I have another Natchez here, and my nice thriving Natchez there. I have another little mulberry tree popping out from the ground. I'm gonna get rid of that one too. Apparently there's a big mulberry tree over here. But no, this is the giant mulberry tree that I have, that I had no idea that was a mulberry tree until I started getting fruits off of it this year that the birds didn't want. Delicious. And then a little jaunt to the back of the yard. Everything back is over there. So here's one of my Fuji apple trees. Probably of normal height. Probably the best pruned of the bunch, but covered by some of the most massive trees on my neighbor's yard and behind me. Doesn't get all that much light. Probably got maybe 3 total apples off of this one in the last 3 years or so. So I'm probably gonna move this one over to the other side of the yard. Here is my second Fuji apple, and these were all here before we moved here. So some of them aren't kept too well, but this one's looking like he's having a bit of trouble this year. There's not many leaves on him, falling off, intertwined with that other tree, and we have an arborist coming in the fall to clean up a lot of stuff, trim these trees up, get rid of extra branches that are overhanging. This almond tree that gives me no almonds, cutting this down, sucking away my sunlight for the peach, apricot, whatever this variety tree is, and my really nice established high bush blueberries. So those guys are there. And then as we get over to here, this is our currently 12 by 12 fig tree, brown turkey fig. Was much taller. I trimmed it back to about 5 feet, so we can see I trimmed it down to here, and it's probably grown almost 4 feet this season so far, so maybe 6 feet. It's tall again. I got a lot of stuff going on inside. I got to clean that out. Probably should have done it sooner, but with all the extra little suckers that are coming out, I'm just going to use those and grab them by the root, put them into some planters, and give them away, sell them. I don't know, whatever I want with those. And then to wrap up the rest of the fruit excursion, there's my Gala apple tree, who's in need of a serious pruning as well, and I've tried and I've looked and I've watched videos to do it, and I'm not confident enough. I know what I'm going to do with an apple tree, which branches to pull down, which ones to leave, how to thin it out. All I know is it gets me fruit, but it gives me these little deformed apples and some full-sized apples, and that's not good. So I need to get this one cleaned up, and the arborists will do that for me. And there's one more right here, another gala apple tree, and again, everything just somehow growing straight up. I don't know what's going on. It's a split tree, so who knows with it. Same thing, gives me small fruits. And then these two Goliath looking trees out here are my black walnut trees, which seem to always have black walnuts on them until we get to this point of summer, loaded with them, and then they're gone. So I do know that the squirrels have been taking them because they've been burying them in my potted plants on the patio. When I go to pot up, I find these cool little green black walnuts inside of them. But yeah, and there's the second one. So he's got to come down. That one's got to come down. Most of those back trees that are on my property are coming down so that I can get some light in here, and then some of these overhang branches like that are gonna get gone. And then we're gonna add more. So we have a whole bunch of room that's here. So we're gonna put some more apples back there when we truck down these trees. There's plans for some pear trees, a couple cherry trees, more fig varieties are gonna go across the fence line straight down all the way to that side when they're ready to be planted in ground. And then I'm thinking the other Chandler blueberries I'm gonna put over in this area. We already have some that are there. The Chandlers are late season, and hopefully by next year the ones that are on the side of the patio area will be able to give me a good amount of fruit early in the season. And we'll figure out what to do with this. I like having it. I like the tree. It gives me a couple fruits every so often, but they don't turn the color of a peach or a nectarine. They kind of stay white, so I don't know if they're white nectarines, if they're apricot variety. I don't know what they do or they are, and if I want to keep it here, because for 6 fruits every season it's not really worth it to have it in here. So I might have someone that wants this to come dig it out, take it, and they can have it. Maybe they'll know what to do with it better than I do. But yeah, that's it in a nutshell. Still adding more stuff, learning more stuff about propagating and doing all the things with the tomato plants, more strawberries, things to do for next year, how many are needed per household, what fertilizers to use, what's been working, what hasn't. So continue joining me on my little journey.